Hi guys, you're watching Cloudwalker TV. I'm your daffy little host, Cristin. Hi. I'm currently in Newark right now. It's been a long 3 days of airport alert, so I'm a little bored. Um, but just finally, I guess, got time to do a recap of my sixth Bastille show the other day from Dallas, which was amazing. Holy crap! Um, I no, this is not my third day of airport alert. Second, sorry. Anyway, um, so it was great. Uh, that goes without saying, really. Um, I got there the day before and relaxed, which was nice. Um, and sorry, I have tea. Um, and I still have my wristband. Yeah, not taking that off till I get back to Savannah in a couple of days. And so I got to the venue at like 3 p.m. and hearing shit. Sorry. Um, so yeah, I got to the venue at 3 p.m. There was already like 50 kids in line. Like, you guys camped out. That's, I couldn't, I don't think I could ever do that. That takes a lot of, that's commitment. But, so yeah, there were kids that had clearly camped out, either all day or maybe even overnight, who knows. Um, and yeah, so I waited in the sun. It was nice and warm. It was like in the 60s, but in the shade where I was most of the time, it was cold as hell, and windy. So I was annoyed with that. But Bastille show, so I'll deal. Uh, and ended up befriending the girl next to me in line over pizza and zebra cakes and bottles of water, which we got the water and the zebra cakes for free from people further up the line. Because like that's just the sort of thing you'll see at a Bastille show. People being really generous with their stuff and ordering a lot of pizza and just generally being very nice and very funny. Excuse me. And I think that's part of like why I like going to those shows so much, is because there's just this huge sense of camaraderie amongst stormers, and that's pretty amazing. That's really a difficult thing to find pretty much anywhere that I've seen in the past. But it was really cool. Doors opened at 7. Somehow managed to get to, like, I was in the pit. My ticket was for general admission floor in the pit, and I guess they weren't completely sold out with that because it wasn't full at all. But this girl Elena and I managed to get crash barrier, front row crash barrier, over like just past Will, you know, and it was great. Oh man, it was a great view. It was just all the more. I think of all the shows I've been to, the most visceral in terms of where, because of where I was standing. Um, so that was great. And then Ella, who's an absolute doll. I love her. Her and her big hair. I just want to put her in my pocket and skip away because she's just too cute, and her stage presence is amazing, and her band is great. Who I got to meet just before Bastille came out, like maybe half an hour before they came out. They were wandering around. I think they had gone to get food or something. And they were very, very nice, very funny, signed autographs, even though they were quite confused as to why people wanted their autographs. They're just like, wait, but we're not Bastille, we're not Ella. Why are you asking for our signature? Like, yes, we will. Okay, but why? They were great. The security guys were hilarious. I recognized a couple of them from Edgefest back in April when I went with my college friend Danny, and, and the one guy with all the tattoos was asking, people if he'd seen his pocket, which I seem to remember him doing at Edgefest as well. It's very weird. I don't understand why he did that, but there you go. Um, anyway, going back to the concert, Ella was amazing. I was so glad I got to see her open for them, because that's partially why I wanted to go back for this leg of the Last Stand tour, because I got to see Folk twice, and they're great. But I also wanted to see Ella. I wanted to see what she was about, and I am not upset that I did, because she's amazing. I've immediated got her work on iTunes, and have been listening to that quite a lot, because it's really great. It's fairly empowering too, and it's fun. Like Casey and I were dancing around the kitchen last night to her work, and it was fun. Uh, and so yeah, and then the show was great. My screen turned off. Why? Um, and um, didn't have any Dan interaction during Flaws, which is fine because I have my Radio City interaction there. That like I really don't want anybody to try to top that. If I never get to run into Dan during Flaws again, that's fine, because I had that moment of, oh, surprise, Dan Smith is holding my hand out of nowhere. Okay. Um, and so, but I did get to meet the entire band this time, and that was really cool. Unfortunately, neither of the girls that were on either side of me during the show were able to stick around for that. It was really sad. They were both hoping to, and they were both really great about holding my spot at the front line while I went to go use the girls' room during the intermission. And so, of course, I had to get water to share with them during the Bastille set, because the Bastille show is the kind of show with the kind of energy where if you have to play the hydration game. If you're not winning the hydration game, you're dying, because you're jumping around most of the time. It's just that kind of high energy show. So I did that, and then we enjoyed the show, and then I immediately went to the back area afterwards to see if I could meet the band. I didn't have anything for them to sign. I got my autograph from Dan and Woody a couple weeks ago in Detroit. So I just basically, when I met each of them, I just said, I just want a hug and to say that you guys did a great job again. And it was a really great show again. This is clearly not my first time seeing you guys, and it's just every time without fail, it's been such an amazing performance. And they were totally fine with that, because the security guys and Dick were trying to rush them, even though they kept drawing it out as much as they could, because it's them. And but they definitely seem really appreciative of people who are just like, I just want to say thanks. So first one to come out was Kyle, and instead of just going down the line and then looping back like the rest of them did, Kyle just went straight to the end to talk to the birthday girl, who had this huge sign that says, "Hey guys, it's my birthday," which I really hope she found a video of them talking about her sign and her birthday during the show, which I guess she didn't get to film herself. Hope you found that. Hope someone had that. Anyway, so he went down, talked to her, and then worked his way back. And he was the first one that I got to meet. And, he was like, oh yeah, hugs, cool, and, thanks for coming out. And he gives pretty amazing hugs, and he's absolutely adorable, and very, very tall in person. He's so tall. I think that was the first thing I thought of when he got to me, was tall. And, so yeah, that was him. Kyle's a sweetheart. I adore him. I don't know if it's possible, but more now that I've met him. Yeah. And then I'm going to talk about Dan last, because I have a question for my UK followers. or European followers, anybody in Europe who might be able to answer this question for me, please do as soon as possible when we get to it or after you're finished watching the video. So Dan came next, and then Will, and then Woody. So Will got to me and you know, did the whole "I just want a hug, thanks for the show" rap, and got a hug, which I don't like. It's like he's not like a mountain man, but like he gives like I can only describe his hugs as like burly, you know, which is weird, but that's how I feel is an appropriate way of describing them, and you know, I was like, well, how's the pilot's license thing going? Because, you know, that takes a long time. A lot of the guys from the pilots from my last crash pad, um, it took them like 5 years to get their pilot's license, and that's, I mean, granted, that's for like commercial flying. I don't know if that's what Will's after, but it takes a long time, and it's very strenuous. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, because of the tour, it's on the back burner right now, and haven't really been able to talk to, like, I guess his instructor has had some sort of busyness going on in his life, so it's been on hold. And I was like, oh well, you know, best of luck with that. It's, you know, it's really, you know, getting through the airline training is really, it's kind of like a bizarre reality TV show. It really is, and in a lot of ways, like when they say they feel like contest winners, I can totally relate to that in terms of like training and all that. It's weird. Uh, and so I was like, well, you know, if Kyle continues to, you know, be a jerk and not, you know, go flying with you so you can get your pilot hours, let me know, because I'm a flight attendant, and, you know, my uncle's a pilot. I grew up around planes, and that sense of impending doom because you're in a tiny, tiny, rickety airplane with someone who's trying to get their license. And so I'm cool with it. And he's just like, yeah, awesome, cool. I will definitely keep that in mind. He probably won't, but that's okay because I threw it out there and it was funny. And then there was Woody, and you guys know that this jumper that I have that's white and it's black around the collar, and I've posted a few photos of me wearing it. Woody got to me, and he, like, the first thing he says is, you know, cool jumper, uh, and then I was like, oh yeah, thanks, and then, you know, hug, thanks for the show, and he's like, wait, you guys call them sweaters? No. It's like, no, it's okay. I call them jumpers too. It's fine. And he's like, rock on. And that was like the end of our interaction, because it's like, okay, no, quick. The quick interactions with all the guys. I'm not going to bug you for long. But I was really glad that he didn't ask about why I call them jumpers, because it's a gross story, and I'm going to spare you guys the details. I don't. Let's just say that early on in college, the word sweater in general was just ruined. Absolutely ruined for me. So 9 times out of 10, I won't use it. Sometimes it'll slip, but that's just only sometimes. So yeah. And so then now we're going to get to Dan, who was actually second in that line. I kind of feel a bit like a bumbling moron for how I got talking to him, because when meeting Dan, you just get nervous, because he's very goofy and attractive, and just, he's Dan Smith. So he's almost finished talking to the girl next to me. He was signing something, and then he kind of turned, and just before I could stop myself, before my brain could go, no, Cristin, wait, I blurted out, oh, you still have my pin, holy shit. And I was just like, shit, why did I do that? Shit. And he was just like, no, yeah, I wear it every day, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, this is so cool. Because I guess I'm a terrible gift giver or something, because I'm entirely too used to, you know, giving people gifts and then finding out shortly after that it's been thrown away or destroyed or something like that. So when I hear that people have something that I've given them and still have it and still use it, it's amazing. It's like, holy damn. And so I guess I said something along those lines. He's like, yeah, no, I wear it all the time, especially now that it's relevant again. And I kind of stopped for a second. I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized, oh yeah, because we're in Texas. This is Dallas. That's a thing. Okay. Oh, and then, so I guess that deserved a fist bump. And I was not, like, again, with Dan Smith, it's just really, my brain goes really slow and doesn't quite compute what's going on all that quickly. So I saw his fist up, like, fist bump time. And it took me a second to be like, oh yeah. And that was funny. And then, of course, hug happened. And I was like, thanks for another great show. Is really, it's never a disappointment ever. So yeah, and okay, so here's the question that I have for my European followers. Is it normal for someone to, like, I know, like, people in Europe are a bit more comfortable, being a bit touchy with each other. But is it normal to a stranger that you're talking to straight up rub their side, like like doing this number to the side, because that's definitely something that Dan did. Just like at the end of our little conversation, and I just kind of went, and like, what what just happened? Because to me, in my mind, and I'm sure not everyone's like this, but I'm weird. Uh, that's just, I consider that a very intimate gesture. Like, that's something that you do with someone either you're really, really good friends with or someone you're in a relationship with. Like, when you just feel like you are mine and I'm yours, so therefore I must touch you. And here, I rub your side. Like, that's I don't know. Like, is that a thing? Is that not a thing? Why did he do that? Because I'm severely, like, in the last 3 shows, I find myself afterwards severely questioning my reality. But this time, it's like, why? Why did that happen? Why did he do that? Is that a thing? Is that normal? Like, why? um, so yes, if you could answer that for me as soon as possible, that'd be super. And then that was pretty much my interactions with the Boys of Bastille in Dallas. And I got to talk with Dick a little bit, sort of, with the accompaniment of some other fans. Like, so I guess someone had called him an asshole or something, and he was just like, no, I am an asshole, it's fine. Like, we're like, no, Dick, you're so cool, though, you're so cool. And then we were, like, joking about the weather, like, how, since he's from North England, like, he can handle anything. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. That's kind of like how we Northerners are. Like, in New York, this is, like, it was 48 degrees Celsius, not Celsius, no, Fahrenheit. Um, and that's not unheard of in North Texas, but that's, I think, still kind of weird for this time of year. And that's considered still warm up here in, like, New York or in, like, Chicago. Uh, and so he's like, yeah, this is kind of like how it feels if you've got the AC going on in inside in the middle of summer. Like, this is it. And it's like, well, yeah. But so that was my Bastille experience. I've been talking for almost 20 minutes now, so I'll get off your dashboard. But yeah, so please feel free to answer that question. Anybody, everybody, fast. And I did talk. If you'd like to, see, I don't know why. What. I was gonna talk about Twitter for some reason, but I'm gonna put my Twitter name on here. I don't know. I'll probably remember later why, but if you want it, it'll be underneath this post. So, yeah. You've been watching Cloudwalker TV. I'm Kristen, the Cloud Walker. Yay! And I'll get off your computer now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time I decide to do a video. Alright. Love you. Bye.